All right, guys, in this short video, I want to be going over the best way to wholesale in 2025 and why I think you should be doing things different. If you don't know me, my name is Fidel. I've done multiple seven figures wholesaling real estate, but I have never been as profitable as I am right now. So, in this video, I want to share with you the best way and why the old way of wholesaling isn't working anymore. So, let's get started. The old way, right? Everybody tells you call, SMS, do paper lead, and chasing leads, right? But now with the call calling, even though it's the cheapest, there's more regulations. There's the carriers having the new rules where whenever you call them, it shows as spam. Same thing with SMS. You text people, what's your offer, all that stuff, right? They're not even like motivated. They don't want to talk to you. And then the alternative usually is you do like a pay-per lead provider where you purchase some leads and then they're supposed to be more high intent, but you don't really control what the actual ad is. So with all of these like old channels, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't work, but you're just working way too hard. You're just like chasing and begging people for you to work with them instead of them chasing you. So the new way is having people that want to work with you directly without chasing. And instead of doing that, you are attracting, which I'll cover here in the new way. But, traditionally, if you are doing the old marketing channels, you're paying for your call callers, right? The dialer, you're pulling the data, you are having to manage like all these VAs and all this headache, your team, you need like 80 to 90 leads probably to get a deal right now, just the way that the industry standards are. And also with SMS, it's kind of like the same thing. Paper lead, I mean, you're probably getting a deal out of 30 to 40 leads. You're paying anywhere from $200 to $400 per lead, which can get, pretty expensive. And, if you don't control that, it all goes from your margin, right? So many of the fixed costs that we have with wholesaling is you're going to have probably a closer or like sales rep that you're going to pay a base $2,000 and anywhere from 7% to 15% in commission, depending on how big you are. But you're also going to have some lead managers. It just depends how big and how many deals you do a month. But probably sub 5 deals, you're probably going to have one closer and one lead manager. If you are at 10 deals plus, you're probably having 2 lead managers and 2 closers. So just work it backwards as to what your standard expenses are. But you have to keep in mind, right? It's real estate, so you have long cash conversion cycles because, we are dealing with lenders, people that require financing. It's not like you're buying like a piece of gum. So a lot of more parts need to be solved before someone can purchase. So you need to be conscious of that. So if you have marketing channels that are costing you too much and they're taking a long time to close, I mean, there's just better ways to do it. So what is the new way? The new way is you want to attract instead of chase. How do you do that? I'll share with you right now. But you basically, instead of having like outbound and like all this call calling, begging people to work with you, you want people to, talk to you and your company, right? So you build a 1 to 2 profitable marketing channels that give you a 6x return on ad spend. So if you spend 10 grand, you want to make at least $60,000. That's minimum. So you get 2 of those that are inbound. You can do Facebook, TikTok, PPC. PPC is going to be more expensive, right? But any of those channels are going to work because you can advertise and you can get the people that want to work with you, right? But if you do good ads, you have good creatives, and if you have kind of like all the good things of an ad, you are going to get low cost per lead. So for us, for example, we run Facebook ads and that's what we teach. So like if you find this video valuable, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm going to link it down below and let's see how like I can help you. Have another video that I kind of covered what we do with Facebook ads. But basically, if you do that, you're able to get a low cost per lead, anywhere from $50 to $60. and you can get a low lead to contract. So for us, we get a deal out of 20 leads. So it costs us anywhere probably like $1,200 to get one contract, and we make like $20,000 per deal. So we don't really have to spend much money. So at this point, we are spending anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000, and we are closing anywhere from 150 to 200 grand a month. And then, like I said, that's my marketing budget. Of course, I have to pay my team, so you have to take all of this in consideration. But we are probably operating like at a 50% net profit, 50 to 60, and it just keeps on getting better the more that we do it. Also, the other thing that's going to play a huge role is you can't just wholesale, because if you just wholesale, you're only going to be making 5 to 15 grand assignments. But if you are able to do novations and sell stuff on market, like a flat fee listing or whatever, you can increase your LTV, your lifetime value per deal, or average profit per deal, for it to be closer to $20,000. So if it costs you $2,000 to get one contract and you're making 20 grand, I mean, that's like a 10x. For us, we're able to be below 1,500. So our CAC, cost of acquisition, and LTV ratio is pretty high. And I just don't want to scale it past that, because, there's way more headache managing the team, all that stuff. But it's all up to you, to what you want to build with your business, right? So how are we able to do that and do all these things that I'm telling you about with having those inbound channels? Well, I covered it in the last video, so I'll link it down below. But basically, we do it with good ads that we teach you basically how to do and how to run on your own, so you're not relying on like an agency. But basically, if you know how to get leads, I mean, you're never going to be going out of business, because you have the main engine that is fueling your business. So you do some great ads, and then you're basically building a brand wherever you decide that you want to market. So you have a chance of reaching people, and your leverage is way higher than if you were to do a call 10,000 people. That's going to take you freaking, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, whatever. But with an ad, you can do that with like $10, right? 1,000 people can see your ad. And depending on how good your ad is, you can get those people that want to work with you. They're like, hey, I like how this guy looks, and I like what he's saying in this video. I mean, I do want to sell my house. Let me see if there's something that they could do, right? Now, we got to understand that Facebook is machine learning. So if you give it enough data, they're going to find you the people that want to work with you. Now, if you have tried Facebook ads in the past and you say that they don't work, it's not that they didn't work, but the provider, the company that you used, probably ran the same ad that they run for all of their clients, and they're not building the actual asset within the company, which is yourself as a founder, putting yourself out there, getting those leads, having control over the ad, over the creative, and over the actual offer that you are talking about on the actual ad itself, right? But if you are able to do all those things and you take them into a lead form or like a landing page, you collect the person's information. Of course, you need to have a good sales team and a good sales process. But once they come in, if you are able to do, different things, not just like wholesale, and you can do the novations and stuff like that, your conversions are going to increase way more, because you're going to be able to get more deals and make more money per deal, because these people are going to sell. It's just a matter of who they're going to sell to, right? So the new model that I like the most, where you have the less amount of headaches, is basically like what I was telling you earlier. 1 to 2 inbound marketing channels that you don't need so many management and people to, be calling and talking to people. But if you get these 2 marketing channels where you get a deal out of 20 leads, you can get away with having 1 lead manager / setter, where he qualifies the person, just following a scripted sales process that can be replicated. I mean, we use this sales process and we can close any deal in any market, and it can be taught. So whoever tells you that sales is a skill that you are born with, I mean, it's a lie, because it can be taught as long as they are willing to learn and they understand the psychology of sales. But to go back to this point is, okay, you have one lead manager, maybe two, depending how big you are. But okay, these people come in, the lead manager qualifies them, you're closer, they follow this script on like what to offer them, how to do the wholesale pitch, how to do the innovation pitch, right? And then ideally you want them to close a minimum of one deal out of four offers that they send out. After it's contracted, you start the TC process, the transaction coordinator slash dispo process, usually with an agent or whatever, you find the buyers. And then that's when you get paid. And then you just basically do the rinse and repeat. But there's so much misinformation out there of people just telling you the wrong stuff. And you want to build a business that serves you. So if you do it this way, I mean, for us, like I said, we're getting probably like 8 to 10 deals, only spending like 15 grand. I have spent way more than that and made way less money. But right now my margins are, pretty crazy, over 6 figures in actual profit. So don't let people talk to you about revenue and hiring all these people, because we got in this business to make money. And if you've been in real estate long enough, you know how hard it is dealing with all the moving parts. And I just feel like we work way too hard not to, make enough money. So I'm probably I'll make a video talking more about sales and our sales process, but just kind of want to make this video just challenging you, right? You don't need to call, you don't need to text and do all those, cheap things. You can learn how to do these things, right? And like I said, we teach you how to do this. So if you found this valuable, subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more videos. And I'll link a video to the previous video, but subscribe for more cool content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.